for senior high school level in Ngada district in commemoration of National Education Day year 2022. I would like to once again introduce our panel of judges. There is Mr. Alphonse Kolo, candidate for English supervisor for senior high school and vocational school in Ngada district. And also Mr. Moses Jalawatu, Ngada district legislative member, also alumni of Flinders University, I have to say that, and also the next one, Mr. Edel Witu, English department lecturer at Symbiosis Education Science College in Ende, or STKIP Symbiosis Ende, also alumni of Flinders University in South Australia. I have to say that as alumni of Flinders University, this is a part of the promotion. Just, okay. And present before us, there are two high school, SMA, two high school debating team. The first one is from SMA Seminari St.Yoh.Berkhmans Toda Belu. Give you applause. Will be competing against SMA Swasta Regina Pacis Bajawa. Here are two stronger teams for the debating team in the last few days, and this is the last days for us, and we have given you the impromptu motion, and we already have provided time for preparing your materials to defending your motion, and now we would like to go forward to the debate competition. We will give you time for the debate, and first of all, we would like to give time for the Prime Minister. It is up to you whether you would start with the introduction of your team or not. I will give the opportunity for you to decide. Okay? So, without further ado, I will give the chance to the government team. Prime Minister, please take your time.
So I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the adjudicator, timekeeper, and all of the participants in English debating competition 2022, especially our partner from the opposition team. Ladies and gentlemen, our motion today is this House believe that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. We from the government team totally agree with this motion. Ladies and gentlemen, before that, first of all, I would like to invite all of us to express our gratitude to the Almighty God because of His blessing in our lives, so we can enjoy this beautiful moment in a good condition. So, ladies and gentlemen,
sorry, apologize to government team and also to everybody because we have technical error with the timing. We need to make sure that your time is recorded. Apologize, big apologize to you team. Yeah, okay, and okay. Sorry, before you start, actually, this is I need to read again the motion because we have a little improvisation of the motion. The motion is prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. So the perimeter is Indonesia. Yeah. So this is an improvisation of the previous read motion, so that the audience know also what is being debated. Okay. Okay. So again, sorry for the Prime Minister of the government team. We will give you time again, and also recording starting from the time you speak. Take your time.
So I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the adjudicator, the timekeeper, chairperson, and all of the participants in English debating competition 2022, especially our honorable partner from the opposition side. So ladies and gentlemen, our motion today is this House believe that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. And we from the government team totally agree with this motion. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all of us to express our gratitude to the Almighty God because of His blessing in our life, so we can enjoy this beautiful moment in a good condition. So ladies and gentlemen, back again to the motion that this House believe that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. And we from the government team totally agree with this motion. From this motion, we take two definitions or two keywords, which are the first, prostitution, and the second is should be legalized. The first, ladies and gentlemen, prostitution, according to KBBI, means that the prostitution is the exchange of sexual relation for money or gift as a trade transactions. And the second keyword is should be legalized, means that is in accordance with applicable law or regulation.
Yes, something, please.
No, thank you. To limit our conversation today, we take the parameter in our country, Indonesia. Based on the current status quo that currently almost every country in the world, including Indonesia, are legalized the Prostitution Act because of some reasons. So ladies and gentlemen, we from the government team totally agree with this motion because we have 2-point argument to prove that we totally agree with this motion. The first, ladies and gentlemen, prostitution provides many benefits for the states and the society, and also prostitution is not for someone and already regulated. So ladies and gentlemen, I will start to explain point by point.
Yes, something,
no,
please.
thank you. The first point will be explained by me, Yuan, as the Prime Minister. The second point will be explained by Grace as the Deputy of Prime Minister. And all of our team argument will be concluded by Titin as the Government Whip. So ladies and gentlemen, I will start to explain my point. The first, ladies and gentlemen, prostitution provides many benefits for the state and the
May I say
and the
something,
social-
please?
Yes, please.
Okay, you have said before that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia, but what are you feeling if the worker is your family itself? So what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you for the question from the opposition team. But we see in the real situation, even though this prostitution the prostitution already legalized, it means that the government already provide about the human right of the community. It means that even though this prostitution is legalized, it can prove that the government and also the community itself as the actors of this prostitution, it's already things about the consequence they get from this action. And this is can brings no thank you. This is can brings positive impact for them. So I will continue to explain my point. As we know, ladies and gentlemen, that sexual harassment is a serious social.
Please?
No, thank you. And this problem should be fixed by the government as one of the government effort to overcome these problems. And this is true. Legalize the prostitution itself. This sexual harassment occurs because the sexual perpetrators are free to roam without any supervision from the government. So that
something, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, you said before that the prostitution is can be legalized in Indonesia because the government can provide the human rights for the workers of prostitution. But actually, prostitution will decrease the human rights, especially for women. What do you think about that?
So, thank you for the question from the opposition team. But we see in the real situation that based on the data from Compass.com as published on 14 October 2021, state that there are the information and electronic team transactions law, namely law number 11 of 2018, also does not provide criminal treats for an act prostitution managed by the prostituters to the customers. It's proof, ladies and gentlemen, that the government already making the regulation to provide the human right of this prostitutioners and also the customer itself. This is can prove that through this regulate, it can help the community to avoid themselves from the negative impact of these things. No, thank you. So the existence of this prostitution brings positive impact for the community, especially in economic sector. When legalized prostitution will become a job or business that is takes, and it can improve the economic condition for the people from low, middle to exclusive and economic class. According to CNBCIndonesia.com, as published on 16 January 2022, the Directorate General of Tax state that the prostitution in Indonesia already subject to a 10% of tax.
Something, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, you said before that with the prostitution it will increase the economic in Indonesia, but actually there is any economic activities then also can increase the economic welfare in Indonesia, but except the prostitution. What do you think about that?
Okay, thank you for your question from the opposition team. But we see in the real situation, ladies and gentlemen, that even though there are a lot of occasion of there are a lot of jobs are faced by the government, but we see in the real situation that there are a lot of unemployment or unemployment rate in Indonesia are still increased. So how can the opposition team state that the job how can the opposition team state that the existence of this prostitution cannot increase the economic condition? So when the government apply this legalize of this prostitution, it can increase the economic condition.
May I say something, please?
No, thanks. Based on Compass.com as published on 4th March 2022, the Ministry of Women's and Empowerment or Child Protection reported that the case of sexual abuse decreased by 797.
Please.
Yes, please.
Okay, you have to know that in reality prostitution is one thing that that means that we play with sexual. You have to know that sex is one thing that very sacred and we cannot just play with the sex. So what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you for the question from the opposition team. But back again to the argument, we already stated that the government and also the community as the actors of this prostitution already provide about all the things that have know that this is the consequence of these things. So they can provide a lot of facilities and also a lot of prerequisite to do this action.
May I say something, please?
No thanks. For example, they can provide protection facilities to limit themselves to avoid this. To limit themselves to avoid the sexual transmittal disease. And then, ladies and gentlemen, this can increase the number of safety of the students, because we see in the real situation that there are a lot of perpetrators of sexual abuse do this sexual action to the students. So it means that when the government legalizes these things, it can avoid the students from the sexual abuse. So this can prove that this legalize of this prostitution, it can bring positive impact to the country. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we see in the real situation that this existence of the prostitution, it can bring positive impact to the economic condition. Because the first, ladies and gentlemen, this prostitution brings tax to the country. It means that the perpetrators of this prostitution and also the customer contribute to the country, and also this brings positive impact to the students because they are avoided by the sexually transmitted disease. That's all from me, and thank you.
Thank you. So time stops at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. The second chance is given to the opposition team. Opposition leader, please present your statements.
Good afternoon, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, all the audience, and our beloved partner from government team. So, I'm the opposition leader here, and I would say that we absolutely disagree with the motion today, which says prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. We have some reasons to prove that our motion today is really right, really wrong. But before going to that, let me elaborate and let me point out the fallacies from government team. So, government team says that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia because government itself have made regulation to provide human rights, and also it can increase the economic welfare for the community. Of course, for the poor family that have a problem with economic problem. But you have to see that the first plan of Pancasila itself says that believe in one and only God, and it means that and also from the religion views, the sexuality itself is it's not like a game, so you have to do it like a prostitution because of the sexuality is secret. And if you want to have a sex, it means
on
that
this point, sir.
Yes, please.
So if the opposition team talk about the prostitution itself is not accordance in our lives because it prohibited the regions in Indonesia itself. So ladies and gentlemen, we bring all of us to see in the real situation that in Indonesia not have people who get religions. So how about they who do not have religions? So that's all. Thank you.
But of course, yeah, you have. I see your point that in Indonesia there are also people that haven't got the religion, but the culture also against this one, because like I stated in Wikipedia, and I will talk about the religion first. As stated in Wikipedia, our religion, Christian, equalizes prostitution with adoration to other God except our God Jesus Christ. We can see this in the book of Prophet Ezekiel, article 23, and book of Prophet Hosea on article 1, paragraph 2 up to 11. Hold on, please, lady. Paragraph 2 up to 11, which says that God will not love the people who do things like prostitution. Because of that, God asked Hosea to marry with a bitch, so he reduced her sins. Yes, please.
Okay, the leader of opposition always state about the region. We must know, ladies and gentlemen, that in our country that doesn't have just one religion. We have any religion in Indonesia, and not all religion in Indonesia is teach about the dangers of this prostitution itself. And how do you think about this one?
Okay, I see your point that the religion in Indonesia do not teach about this one. But in the religion, we have to know that we trust in our God, and our God teach us that sexuality is not the game, you know, and sexuality is the secret things that we have to keep. Because and also the culture also provide that the sexuality is not. It's not a game, so you can play with it every time and everywhere you want. And so back to my point. And also, according to warta17agustus.com on 7th of April 2022, in Muslim, there is one thing that called shahwat
On
that
this
make
point,
people
sir.
interesting. Hold on, please. Shahwat that make people interesting in each other, and they will be one in the room of marriage. But many people have wrong perspective about that. They just follow the lust
point,
of
sir.
sex. Yes, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from the opposition team, they talk about and they really the prostitution with the Muslim rule. So it means that they discriminate the other religions in Indonesia. So how the opposition team think about this?
But in Muslim, we know that prostitution is taboo. Canonical law, prostitution is a sin, and in Hindu and Buddha, prostitution is a crime. So we can see that prostitution itself cannot be legalized in Indonesia, because in the perspective of religion, it's a taboo thing, and because of that, it cannot be legalized. So back to my point, and also, I cited in national.ecozone.com on 2020 of December 2021.
On that point, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, the opposition team state that this prostitution is not accordance to the religion and also the Pancasila values. So, what do you think about a lot of our place to do this prostitution in Indonesia are still available? So, what do you think about this?
Okay, that's why the prostitution in Indonesia should be banned. So we cannot see the prostitution place that apply in the society. Because of that, this one should be banned in Indonesia. So back to my point. As I did in national.ecozone.com on 2020 of December 2021, National Coordinator
point,
of
sir.
Indonesia. Hold on, please. Of Indonesia Social Change Organization (OPSI) state that the number of sex workers in Indonesia as much as 2,030,000 people on 2019. So you see, there's a lot.
On that point, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, the opposition team always state that this prostitution is not accordance with Pancasila values and also the religion in Indonesia. But we see in the real situation, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of places to do this prostitution are available by the government. So how can the opposition team state that this not accordance with Pancasila values, even though the government already make the regulation to legalize this prostitution? So how can the opposition team state that? Thank you.
Okay, but you have to see that the people who do this prostitution have a lack of trust to God, and then they have no character that will create positive things in their brain, so they cannot see this sexuality as a secret thing, and they cannot see this sexuality as a thing that have to be kept on their relationship between in the bond of marriage. So because of that, this prostitution should be, hold on please lady, this prostitution should be banned in Indonesia. And also because of that, the government provide the knowledge in school in accordance with the sex education through religion subjects in the school. So it means that government also try to prevent this number of prostitution in Indonesia. And also Article 296 of KUHP says that whoever deliberately causes objection by others and makes it a quest or habit will be punished. So you have to see that the government also have banned this prostitution in Indonesia because it's not in accordance with the Pancasila for the first point, and also it doesn't in accordance with the religion that apply in Indonesia. Because of that, we still really disagree with the motion today, which says prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Time stops at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. The next one, we would like to give the opportunity for the Deputy Prime Minister to reassert your position. Time is yours.
So I will speech in 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the educator, timekeeper, and all of us that participate in debate competition, especially our partner from opposition team. I'm Grace, as the Deputy of Prime Minister, would like to explain our second argument. So before I'm going to explain our argument, I would like to give some rebuttal or response to what the opposition team statement before. So ladies and gentlemen, from the opposition team, they just only talk about the people who make the prostitution is because they just lack of knowledge about or they don't trust of God. So this is means that how about the 5 rule of Pancasila itself that talk about the economic welfare. So this thing that with the prostitution, it's make economic community welfare for the community itself. And also, how about the sex offenders can express
There's
their
something, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, you talk about economic welfare, that we can receive economic welfare through this prostitution. What you have to see that in reality there are so many jobs that we can get. You cannot just depend on this prostitution, and this prostitution should be banned in Indonesia because there are so many jobs that you can get. So what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you for the question from our opposition team. So we can real in the situation like now, ladies and gentlemen, that the perpetrators or the perpetrators of the prostitution itself, they face almost of them face the lack of economic condition. So of course, how about them that have last choice to choose this job so they can fulfill their life needed? And also, ladies and gentlemen,
please.
no, thank you. I would like to explain our argument. So the first is, ladies and gentlemen, prostitution is not for someone and already regulated. Ladies and gentlemen, when we hear the word prostitution, we always think that prostitution is the dark thing, naughty, and always negative. But ladies and gentlemen, we need to know that prostitution is influenced by many factors, namely, yes please?
Okay, you said before that with the prostitution, it will increase the economic welfare, especially for the poor families and families who comes from weak economy. But actually, government has a role here to increase the economy. According to Kemenkeu.go.id, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of
Okay, I
Corporate...
got your point.
Not yet, please, I read this one. So, Kemenkeu.go.id stated that through assistance that comes from government, they can increase the economic welfare among the poor families, so they don't fall into the prostitution. What do you think about that?
Okay, thank you. But through the assistance given by the government to the poor people in Indonesia itself, it's not guaranteed that people can increase their life needed. Also, we can see in the real situation that the poor family become increased, and also they just only have a last choose to choose the job so they can fulfill their life needed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to know that prostitution is influenced by many factors, namely, forced due to the economic condition, and organ need to get money to support themselves, and their families do not have a source of income, and easy
Yes, something,
choice
please.
in increasing, no thank you, a living, frustration, or failure of a person to achieve life goals and want to repay the heart. From this,
Something, please.
no, thank you. From this perspective, prostitution should be legalized because most people with their own problems have right, and we cannot limit them to getting the pleasure they want. Or this is case.
May I say something, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, but according to bbcnews.com on 13th of May 2021, the society make a demonstration to against prostitution because they think that this is not in accordance with the culture. And of course, if you said that this prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia, where is your self-esteem? So what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, we from opposition team again, we from government team again and again that how about the perpetrators of the prostitution itself that they have a not good condition of economic. So this is proof that they need to have a last choice to get these jobs. Of course, they can help them to still fulfill their life needed. And also, ladies and gentlemen, Reporting from CNBC.com, as published on February 12, 2022, a survey conducted by the Task Force for Community Social Supervision found that more than 972,000 people who commit prostitution in many places in Indonesia are those who have economic problems, and 50% of them are who are divorces and need someone to sharing each other.
May I
From this,
something,
ladies and gentlemen,
please?
yes, please.
Okay, you say that assistance cannot guarantee the poor family to receive economic welfare, but you have to see that prostitution also cannot guarantee the poor family to receive economic welfare. And you have to see that, as I did in kemenkeu.go.id, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Cooperative, and UMKM, through the permission of DPR and President, give 95.887 trillion to increase and support citizens to build and develop their good business for lower middle class. It shows that government already try their best to push this one. So what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you for your question. But according to CNBCindonesia.com, as published on 16 January 2022, the Directorate General of Tax state that the prostitution in Indonesia is already subject to a 10% tax. Because of that, the prostitution actor already contribute to the country economic. So also, we can see in the real situation like now, ladies and gentlemen, that if the opposition team talk about the prostitution is legalized, so why the government itself is only normally or just only fine? Because now, ladies and gentlemen, the prostitution place in Indonesia become increased. So, ladies and gentlemen, start from the first is prostitution is not forced. Someone already regulates, because there are many factors that can make the prostitution place itself can implemented in Indonesia. Because the first, ladies and gentlemen, the economic condition due by the people itself. So they have to fulfill their life needed with have a job in the prostitution place. And also, ladies and gentlemen, and also, ladies and gentlemen, with the prostitution place, they can give or sharing their life needed or their problems to the server in the prostitution place itself. So we from government team totally agree with this motion.
Okay, thank you. Time stops at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. The next chance is given to the deputy of the opposition leader to review the previous speakers. Time is yours.
Good morning, honorable judges, and good morning all the audience. This is the second speaker of opposition team, and we still believe with our motion today that prostitution should be banned in Indonesia. So, before going further to my speech, let me criticize the ridiculous opinion from the government team. So, the government team has already clarified before that with the prostitution, it can increase the economic welfare, especially economic welfare for the poor family that are in Indonesia. But actually, they also cannot receive the economic welfare through prostitution. Actually, in Indonesia, there is many job fields that can increase their economic welfare. So, prostitution is not a one way for them to receive their economic welfare. And also, you said before that prostitution must be legalized because it will also can make people have their economic welfare, and also they will have a good life in their life. But actually, I want to give you some reasons why prostitution should be banned in Indonesia. So actually, prostitution itself can give many negative impacts and many bad impacts that can people actually don't have welfare in their life. So I have three reasons. First, prostitution can spread deadly sexual disease. The second reason, sexual increase the human exploitations, especially.
On that point, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, the opposition team state that the existence of this prostitution, it can increase the number of sexual disease for the people. But we see in the real situation, ladies and gentlemen, the existence of this prostitution place is to the perpetrators and also the customers to do the sexual action. So it can limit the transmission of the sexual abuse, especially for students, especially for students, right? So it can prove that through this prostitution, especially to legalize this prostitution, it can improve, it can limit or maximize the sexual harassment of the young generation in Indonesia. So what do you think about this?
Thank you for your bright question. But actually, this prostitution, prostitution can spread deadly sexual disease, and actually it can it cannot make welfare among the people in Indonesia, especially from the poor families. So let me go to my speech. Prostitution become a place to society to spread sexually disease. Prostitution itself have a big possibility and big risks to cause transmission and infection of sexually transmitted disease. The legalization of prostitution will indirectly increase the risk of someone being known in some sexually disease. According to liputan6.com, some sexually
On that
disease...
point, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, the opposition team again and again state that the existence of the prostitution, it can increase the risk of death and also sexual action for the community. But within the real situation, ladies and gentlemen, based on compass.com as published on 4th March 2022, the Ministry of Women's and Empowerment and Child Protection state that the cases of sexual abuse decreased by 797 children throughout January
Okay, I see your
2002.
point.
No thanks. Due to regulate on legalized online prostitution. So this is can prove with the existence of this prostitution, it can minimize the sexual abuse through, especially in the young
I see your
generation.
point.
No thanks.
I see your point. I
yes,
see your
please.
point. Thank you. But according to, you may say that the legalization of prostitution can reduce the number of sexual abuse. But actually, according to the Director General of Prevention and Control of Infection Disease of Ministry of Health, 558,000 cases of HIV/AIDS until May 2021 increased because the prostitution itself in Indonesia. So what do you think if so actually prostitution if the prostitution is legalized in Indonesia, it can increase
On this point, sir.
wait please. And actually prostitution itself can increase the case of some sexual disease in Indonesia. So according to liputan6.com, some sexual disease can be experienced for the sexual workers if they do the prostitution. First is syphilis, second is gonorrhea, third is HIV/AIDS, and also human
At this point,
papilloma.
sir.
Wait, please. And also the human papilloma virus. This disease is very dangerous for a person and can cause death for them because they can have infected from this sexually disease. And the most
On
dangerous.
this point, sir.
Yes, please.
So how about the statement that so how about this problem? So if there are not have a prostitution place, so of course the perpetrators of the who have sex, they can get a sex in the general or in the public. So this is much dangerous if not there are not a prostitution place. So how about the opposition team think about this?
Okay, I see your point, but actually prostitution should be banned in Indonesia, and it can give many bad impacts that cannot make this prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. Thank you. I back to my speech. So the most dangerous of disease that will happen is HIV/AIDS. Why this AIDS can be dangerous for them? Because it's very easy to spread if people have sexual intercourse, and also if people infected from the HIV/AIDS, they are very difficult to cure from this disease, and also their immune system will be weak and susceptible for various diseases that can make. Wait, please. And they also can have another disease that can make their life not long. And case of HIV. Yes, please.
From the opposition team again and again talk about the prostitution is must be banned in Indonesia. But why there is still a regulate in the law of 12
I back
of
to my speech.
2018?
The time for PI is over. So the second reason why this program, why prostitution should be banned in Indonesia, is because it will increase the human exploitation case. So the legalization of prostitution can increase the sex workers, and also, but this increasing of sexual workers can cause human exploitations because the requirement of commercial sex workers is more than before. And according to kpai.go.id, 264 children in Indonesia, especially from the elementary school age, is sexually exploited because the need of sexual workers in Indonesia. And according to republica.co.id, based on the research of International Organization of Migration, the case of human trafficking increased 50% in 2020, and 80% of them sexually exploited. So the third reason is degrading women dignity. So because of that, we still don't believe they are Muslims today. Thank you very much.
Okay, so time stops at 7 minutes and 25 seconds. The third speaker from the government team, government whip, it's your time to reassert your position and tribute the opposition's standpoint. Time is yours.
So I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the adjudicators, timekeeper, and all of the participants in this debate competition. I'm Titin as the third speaker from the government team. So now, before I'm going to convey our team argument conclusion, I would like to give some response or rebuttal to the opposition team statement. First is about so many economic sector in Indonesia to fulfill needs. But ladies and gentlemen, we must see the real situation, and from the data we get from the Kominfo there, 68.9% unemployment in Indonesia. So many economic sector in Indonesia, but we have limited employment, ladies and gentlemen. And the second is about deadly sexual disease. But the report from Kompas.com, 16 March 2022, a lot of sex workers, or 3 million sex workers already received the HPV vaccination, and this vaccination effective by 70 until 87%. So this can reduce the consequence of the prostitution. So ladies and gentlemen, now I will explain our team argument conclusion.
May I say something, please?
No thanks. Prostitution certainly involves commercial sex workers who certainly don't look at men or women, ladies and gentlemen.
May I say something,
yes,
please? Okay, as I did in law.unja.id, research found that first, with prostitution, number of crimes increase in Indonesia, and with prostitution can disturb public peace. It shows that prostitution give many negative impacts. So, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot say that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. So, what do you think about that?
Okay, but from the data we get that the prostitution itself can help people to fulfill their needs. And can the opposition team give the data that how the percentage that which the percentage that show that the prostitution is dangerous for sexual workers. So ladies and gentlemen, now I will continue to explain our team argument. No thanks. Indonesians show the evidence of prostitution is still a scroll of the morals of our society. It will be rather difficult for the government to expel the practice of the prostitution itself. Even because of difficulties in the government has determined to localization of the prostitution in Jakarta. Meanwhile, the localization of prostitution...
Yes, something, please.
Yeah, no thanks. Meanwhile, the localization of the prostitution as will developing outside Jakarta, such as Surabaya. Seeing this phenomenon, the government attitude in the contrast to what done by the law entrocker. And with this, please? Can prove the government. Yes, please.
Okay, you said before that government give based on your argument before that government give vaccination that can make them safe from sexual disease, but actually one of the sexual disease is HIV/AIDS, and this disease don't have any medicine that can make them safe from this disease. What do you think about that?
Okay, I will give the response to the opposition statement. But just one sexual workers cannot lead the 3 million sex workers that already get the HPV vaccination from the data we explained. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to explain our team argument. Report from SindonNews.com on October 14, 2021, if there is no complaint, the sex buyer cannot be said to have committed a crime as required in Article 284 of the Criminal Code. The sex buyers cannot be punished if they don't meet the qualification mentioned above, as well as sex workers who cannot be convicted. The position is only as a witness, and even if the prostitution involves pimps or other parties who benefit from the ongoing sexual transaction. In the context of prostitution, if the positive is not a pimp of a person who benefits from prostitution activity, then of course the act cannot be declared as an offense of a criminal. Yes, please.
Okay, we said before that government give the vaccination for the sex worker to prevent them from the sexual disease, but the HVH and don't have the medicine for that, and of course salus populi suprema lex est, or the safety of the people is the supreme law or the highest law. So it means that the government have to save their society from this disease, even though it just a little, there is the little number of the possibility for them to get infected, but it's still this disease that can spread out through the sex workers. So what do you think about that?
Okay, but we from the government team must emphasize again that our data is more strong, that the 3 million people are already received the vaccination of HPV itself, and it can decrease the consequence of the disease from the
May I say something, please?
no thanks, of the sexual disease itself. So ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to explain our team argument. If the opposition team state that the government already released the law that can fix prostitution case, why until now the case of the prostitution is still increased, ladies and gentlemen? It means that the government, no thanks, it means that the government not give more responsibility to fix prostitution cases in Indonesia. From this data that our team get from suara.com as published on December 29, 2021 shows that,
something, please.
no thanks, 14 years little girls in Bandung was kidnapped and raped, then sold as a prostitute on trial of the application. The girls they forced to do something that smells or sexual violence. This is very ironic, ladies and gentlemen. This is why our team emphasized that prostitution must be legalized so that the sex predator.
Please.
Yes, please.
Okay, you talk a lot about the prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia, but you have to see that.
Your time is a limit. So now I will explain to I will continue to explain our team argument. So ladies and gentlemen, this is why our team must emphasize that prostitution must be legalized from the government, so that the sex predators can express their desires to that sex workers' right, ladies and gentlemen, so that there are no criminalized in the society to child also, ladies and gentlemen. We can see in the real situation now that many cases of prostitution occur in our country, and this scale still increase, ladies and gentlemen, until 48.9%. And also it is the biggest number, ladies and gentlemen. So to fix this case, government impossible just to release the law always, and case still increase. It's not guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen, because many sex workers do their work on house or even hotel. So that far from the supervision of the government itself, this action can actually has a good impact on our community, namely increasing. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, government team. Time stops at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Now we would like to give the chance to the third speaker of the opposition team, opposition whip. It's your time to prepare your the summary of your position, and also to rebut the opposing team's arguments. Time is yours.
Okay, good morning, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, all the audience. This is opposition whip, and I would say that once again, this side of the house still totally don't agree with our motion today that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. My opposition leader and deputy opposition leader have talked about the reasons to prove you that prostitution must be banned in Indonesia. But before going to my speech, let me point out the failure of government side. Government side talks again and again that prostitution happened because of economic problem, and you say that the commercial sex worker already get vaccination to prevent them from the disease of this sexual disease. But you have to see that even when they already get vaccination, they still have possibility to infect it again by the disease. And you have to see that in reality now, one disease there is HIV that don't have medical that can help out
this point,
they help
sir?
us from this.
On this point, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, from the opposition team talk about the, even though they already vaccinated, but they also just can infected by the HIV AIDS. So can the opposition team give a real data about how much
Okay,
people
I get
will
your
get
point. I get your point. But
Okay.
my real data is our reality now. You have to say that in reality there are so many people that get infected by the HIV that then the HIV spread to other people through the blood, through their mouth. So back to my point. Why do I say that this
on
side
this
of the
point,
house?
sir?
Lady, please let me finish. So back to my point, why do I say that this side of the house still totally don't agree with our motion today that we think that prostitution must be banned in Indonesia because we have some reasons to prove you that first, this prostitution against the law,
On this
against
point,
the norm,
sir?
and against the religion. Yes, please.
Okay, you just talk, see in the real situation. So where you means that see real in the situation, and also I need a data, not a real situation. This is proof that opposition team just only basing on their statement, not the truth data or the survey or
Okay,
something.
I get your point, lady. Okay, as I did an Okazon.com, commercial sex worker who are female in Indonesia in the end of 2019 increased until around 230,000 people. And those commercial sex workers have already get vaccination and they still get infected by HIV. You have to see that in my data, I already prove you that the commercial sex worker who are female get infected again the sexual disease. That is exclude male and transgender. So back to my point, why do I say that this side of the house still totally don't agree with our motion today, and we think that prostitution must be banned in Indonesia because we think that prostitution against the law, against the norm, and against the religion. You have to, as I did in blog.justica.com.
On that point, sir?
Lady, please let me finish. As I did in blog.judica.com, law chapter 63, paragraph 1, say that...
On that point, sir?
Lady, please let me finish. Chapter 36, paragraph 1, say that there will be punishment for everyone who want to facilitate and ask
On
each
that point,
other
sir?
to make prostitution. Yes, please.
Okay, the opposition team state again and again that this existence of the prostitution against the law. But ladies and gentlemen, based on data from Kompas.com as published on 14 October 2021 state that there are the information and electronic transactions law, namely law number 11 of 2018, also does not provide criminal treats for an act prostitution managed by the prostituters to the customer. So how can the opposition team state that this is against the law? Because within the real situation, the government already regulate this prostitution must be legalized in a regulate, namely number 11 of 2018. So what do you think about this?
Okay, I get the point. That's a bright idea, lady, but you have to see that as I did in justica.com, online prostitution, one kind of prostitution will get punishment and users of these services will be punished. And you have to see that government have already made regulation that will give punishment for everyone that make prostitution. It shows that prostitution is a taboo in our country. And then as I did in larasonline.com in KUHP chapter 296 and chapter 506 that range about prostitution, and in the regulation it ranges that prostitution
On this point,
should
sir?
be banned in Indonesia because it will give impact
On
for
this point,
everyone.
sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, if you talk about the prostitution is not legalized in Indonesia, so why? Now, according from the Kominfo.com, the government said just only normally or just fine because we can prove that now there is still have a more than 323,000 prostitution place that still spread in 34 provinces in Indonesia. So if you talk that is not legalized,
Yeah,
so
I get
why
your point,
there's not
lady.
just still existence?
Okay, lady. You have to see that government make this regulation without without the reasons. They know that this prostitution is legal and they make regulation to arrange this one. And then you have to see that this still make great in our country. And then you have to see that as I did in bola.com.
On that point, sir?
Lady, please let me finish this one. As I did in bola.com, there is obscenity norm that help us to prevent the prostitutions. If someone against the norm, many times they will get regret, ridiculed, even ostracized from society. It shows that,
On that point,
even
sir?
our society don't agree with this prostitution. Lady, please let me finish this part, please. Okay, you have to see that. You have to remember that society made to be one and to receive greater aim, which are good, positive and happy. How can government put this prostitution as a legal in Indonesia when the society want to receive the aim that is good, that's good, positive and happy. Government cannot apply this prostitution in our society because it will get negative. It will give negative impact of the society and for all the people all around Indonesia. And as I did in Komnas.ham.co.id, Indonesia sit in the 47th place as the most cases of prostitution. It shows that in Indonesia we have bad stigma, that is we are sit in the 47th place as the most cases of prostitution, and it shows that our country have a very big problem, and government should ban this prostitution. Because of that, this side of the house still disagree with our motion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So time stops at 7 minutes and 25 seconds. So now is the last chance, last opportunities for each team to present the strengths and advantages of each of your position against each other. So the first chance will be given to the opposition team. The reply speaker from opposition team, please take your time.
Good morning, honorable judges, and good morning, all the audience. This is the reply speaker of this opposition team, and we still don't agree with our motion today that says prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. My friend from the government team again and again talk about that from this prostitution it can increase the economic welfare, and also it can increase the economic situation in the poor families because they will work in the prostitution, and it can make them easier to fulfill their needs, their daily needs. But actually, prostitution itself against the law, against the norms, and against the Pancasila values in our country. And actually, and because of that, prostitution itself should be banned in Indonesia. And we have some reasons to prove you why. We have some reasons to prove you why prostitution should be banned in Indonesia. First point, actually, prostitution against the law, against the norms, and against the regulation in our country, and also in our religion. And if government already provide the law, actually they made some rate that can decrease the number of sexual workers in Indonesia, that and then they will ban the prostitution in Indonesia. And we have some reasons to prove you prostitution should be banned in Indonesia. First, why prostitution should be banned in Indonesia is because prostitution can spread deadly sexually disease. Prostitution have a big possibility and have a big risk to cause transmission and infection from the sexually transmitted disease. And it also can have some diseases such as hate, and the most dangerous disease that can happen because of the prostitution is HIV/AIDS. And it is very easy for them to get infected from the HIV/AIDS through the prostitution in Indonesia. And the second reason why prostitution should be banned in Indonesia is because prostitution can increase the human exploitations, especially sexual exploitation. The legalization of prostitution can increase the sexual workers, and actually the increasing the number of sexual workers can increase also the exploitations for them. They will recruit many workers to become the sexual workers, and also they also have possibility to recruit some workers from the child age. And according to republica.co.id, based on the research of International Organization of Migration, the case of human trafficking increased 15.3% in 2020, and 80% of them is sexually exploited. And we can see that with the if government legalize this prostitution, it can increase also the number of human exploitations, especially human trafficking that sexually exploit. And it will have a huge impact to a person, especially for the women who are the commercial sex workers in Indonesia. When in fact, government wants to decrease the number of human trafficking. And the third reason why prostitution should be banned in Indonesia is because prostitution can degrading women's dignity. So women will be increasingly ignored by the men. Although the possibility of make prostitution can occur when the prostitution is legalized, some men will think that women as their mere commodities. They will not be humanized. The women that will be not humanized, and the man always thought that money could buy the women, and he wanted more easily. This also make it difficult for women to obtain justice, both single and married. And we will return to an era where women have fight for their rights. There are many inequalities of women that will be understood and harm for women, and they also will lose their rights to be women because they have confiscated from the men. So we still don't agree with our motion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that's the last speaker from the opposition team, and time stops at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. The last opportunity will be given to the government team. This is your chance to provide your conclusion and also the strengths and advantages of your position and motion. Time is yours.
So I will start the speech in 3, 2, 1. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the adjudicator, the timekeeper, the chairperson, and all of the participants in English debating competition 2022, especially the honorable partner from the opposition team. Ladies and gentlemen, basically our motion today is this House believe that prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia, and we from the government team totally agree with this motion because we have some reason to prove that we totally agree with this motion. The first, the prostitution provides many benefits for the state and society, and the second is the prostitution is not for someone and already regulated by the government. And then, ladies and gentlemen, before that, the opposition team basically the opposition team have 3-point argument. The first, ladies and gentlemen, the existence of the prostitution against the religion, law, norm, and Pancasila values. But ladies and gentlemen, we see in the real situation that the opposition team state that this is against the law, the regulate of the country. But the government already made the regulation to provide to prove that this prostitution must be legalized. And this can prove that through this regulated by the government, it can show that this is the prostitution is not it's not accordance with the Pancasila values which stated by the opposition team. And also the opposition team state that this can spread deadly risk or disease, especially sexual disease, by the existence of this prostitution. But ladies and gentlemen, back again to the argument from our team, we state that there are a lot of protection facilities provided by the government to the prostitutioners and also the customer itself to keep themselves from the risk of sexually transmitted disease. And this can prove, ladies and gentlemen, through this action, the government already fulfilled the human right. And this is also shows that this prostitution should legally in our country. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the opposition team state that this prostitution can increase human exploitation or the human trafficking. But ladies and gentlemen, back again to the data from the opposition team, it cannot guarantee that that all of the human trafficking cases of human trafficking it's caused by the prostitution. So how can the opposition team state that the human trafficking it's caused by the prostitution? Basic for what the opposition team state this statement. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we from the government team totally agree with this motion because prostitution provides many benefits for the state and society. As we know, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of sexual abuse occurs because the perpetrators of the sexual abuse are free and get their victims in the public places, for example, the students in the school. So the existence of the prostitution, especially the legalized of this prostitution, it can avoid the students as the young generation to be the victim of the sexual abuse by the perpetrators. So the perpetrators can can satisfy his lust or express their harassment to the customer, especially in this prostitution places. So they cannot make this sexual abuse to the young generation in Indonesia. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, we know that when the young generation in Indonesia already become the victims of the sexual abuse, it can influence the future of the country when the teenagers, especially the students, are become this victim of this action. It can make the future of the country do not run well. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we know that the existence of this prostitution, it can brings a positive impact to the economic sector in Indonesia. For example, they can contribute for the tax sector, so they can increase the economic welfare in Indonesia. And as we know, ladies and gentlemen, the perpetrators and the customers are come from the poor family or low economic condition. So that, ladies and gentlemen, this can prove we from the government team totally agree with this motion. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say that our team has to win this debate because the first, we give the real data and real example about the effectiveness of this prostitution should be legalized in Indonesia. And then at the end of the day, we from the government team totally agree with this motion. And I would like to say apologize and thank you for all the attention from the audience. That's all from me, and thank you.
That's a perfect timing. So time stops at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Please give a big round of applause for both teams for another great performances and very impressive, arguments. Yeah. Before we ask both teams to return to your seat, I would like to ask both teams. Maybe one or two of you could give some comments and impressions about this debate. Is it okay? I think the government team is more ready to say something. So I'll give you, okay.
So good afternoon for all of us. Firstly, I would like to say thank you for all of the attention from the audience, especially for the honorable opposition side. And I think this is the very impressive performance because we from the government team have negative position, but we must to strengthen our position. And also from the opposition team, they also strengthen their position because they give the explanation. And also at the time of POI, I think this is the very impressive time because the opposition team, when the opposition team do not give our team to give their question, it means that the opposition team have to have to convey their argument. So it will be the learning process for us to become aware about our position. So I think that's all, and thank you.
Okay, good morning, all of you. Personal speaking, I think. Personal speaking, I think this debate today is very excellent. I think that's very great because both teams try their best to strengthen their position, and then they try to give real examples and give real data. And I want to say that I hope that after this we just be the friend. We don't be the enemy, because this is just a battle of wits. This is a battle of wits. We cannot put this battle of wits as our weapon to be an enemy. We should be our friends from now till the future. That's all for me, I think. And I think this is place for us to learn to be better in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, maybe for both teams, we would like to ask both of you to both teams to shake hands and return to your position. Yeah. And we will allow time for our judging panelists to finalize the scoring system. Okay. Silakan ya, pengen. Mantap. So as the moderator, I would like to say yay. We would like to invite the organizing committee to let us know what's gonna happen after this and what time will be needed for the finalization of the scoring. So we would know what time the announcement of the winner of the competition would be. I will hand over the microphone to the committee.
Well, everybody, actually, we have to give 10 minutes for the judges to accumulation the score. So after the 10 minutes, the judges will announce who will be the winners. So after that, we have lunch time. Maybe for the committee, only that information. If any information from Ibu Sasan, maybe Pak already. Okay. Ten minutes. Okay, well, we just wait for 10 minutes for the judges accumulate the score.
Selamat siang untuk kita semua. Selamat siang. Selamat siang. Halo. Hai. Baik. Sambil menunggu tim juri membuat perhitungan atas penilaian dari hasil fight semifinal sampai final hari ini, dari pagi sampai dengan siang ini, saya selaku panitia dan juga sebagai penanggung jawab lomba debat bahasa Inggris di SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa menyampaikan sepatah dua kata. Yang pertama, mari kita panjatkan puji dan syukur kehadiran Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa, karena atas berkat, bimbingan dan perlindungannya untuk kita semua, sehingga kegiatan lomba debat bahasa Inggris yang sudah dilaksanakan sejak tanggal 5 sampai dengan 7 April 2022 yang berpusat di SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa berjalan lancar dan sukses. Tepuk tangan untuk kita semua. Yang kedua, terima kasih yang tak terhingga saya atas nama tenaga pendidik dan tenaga kependidikan serta semua peserta didik di SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa menyampaikan terima kasih kepada panitia yang di dalamnya gabungan para kepala sekolah yang bernaung di dalam wadah MKKS SMA Kabupaten.Ngada mengucapkan terima kasih atas kepercayaan yang diberikan kepada SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa sebagai tempat penyelenggaraan lomba debat bahasa Inggris tahun 2022. Terima kasih yang tak terhingga saya harus sampaikan kepada Bapak Ibu Kepala Sekolah Romo yang sudah mendukung acara lomba debat bahasa Inggris di sekolah kami SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa. Kesempatan berikut kami menyampaikan terima kasih kepada teman saya, koordinator penyelenggaraan lomba, yaitu Kepala SMAS Thomas Aquino, Pacis tidak sempat hadir hari ini karena beliau berhalangan. Yang berikut Pak Kristo yang sangat setia mendampingi kita dan bersama kita sejak hari pertama sampai dengan hari ini. Pak Kristo ini Kepala SMAN Restorasi Riung. Kalau saya tidak perlu diragukan lagi. Yang berikut teman-teman saya tenaga IT. Kita tepuk tangan. Tenaga IT yang merupakan gabungan kekuatan dari SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa, SMAS Regina Pacis Bajawa, SMAN Goleva Barat, dan SMAN 2 Bajawa. Mari kita sekali lagi berikan aplaus yang meriah. Berkat kerja ekstra mereka, maka kegiatan kita berjalan dengan lancar sejak tanggal 5 sampai dengan hari ini. Yang sangat saya cintai dan saya banggakan, Bapak Ibu guruku, para pendamping. Tepuk tangan untuk para pendamping dari 15 sekolah. Kita semua luar biasa. yang paling dan sangat saya cintai, anak-anak saya peserta lomba. Kalian luar biasa. Hari ini kita bukan menanti-nantikan sang juara, tapi hari ini kita mendapatkan bibit-bibit dari peserta didik kita yang menjadi utusan dari sekolah, utusan dari kabupaten ini, utusan dari wadah MKKS. Harapan kita, mereka kita dorong sampai ke tingkat provinsi, bahkan ke tingkat nasional. Lebih khusus untuk 4 peserta yang hari ini masuk semifinal dan final, SMAN 1 Bajawa. Saya undang anak-anak saya dari SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa, kita bisa menempati ruangan ini. Masih ada? Masih semangat? Oke. SMAN Riung Barat, saya ajak guru pendamping dan peserta dari SMAN Riung Barat, kita bisa menempati ruangan ini. Terus SMAS Regina Pacis Bajawa dan SMAS St.Yoh.Berkhmans Toda Beluh. Berikut Ibu Ketua dan Sekretaris Panitia Lomba, Ibu Susan dan Ibu Mercy, saya undang ke depan. Ibu Susan dan Ibu Mercy, ya, lagi urus dokumen yang akan diserahkan ke panitia. Mereka kerja dari tanggal 5 sampai tanggal 7 hari ini. Sekali lagi terima kasih banyak. Yang berikut kepada Bapak Dewan Yuri dan Ibu Moderator, terima kasih sudah bersama dengan kami. Kita berproses bersama-sama di sini. Nanti hasil sebentar yang akan kita dengar itu adalah hasil bersama kita. Kita pasti semua sama-sama sukses. Dan saya harus sapa satu persatu. Bapak Alphonse, terima kasih. Bapak Moses, terima kasih. Bapak Edel, terima kasih. Ibu Rini, terima kasih banyak. Ini sebuah pembelajaran untuk kami di sekolah. Semoga semangat ini kita bangun terus dan kita pupuk terus ke depan. Sekali lagi kita berikan aplaus yang meriah kepada tim Yuri dan moderator. Dan timekeeper Pak Alex, terima kasih. Walaupun hari ini dimandatkan kepada Ibu Susan. Yang berikut teman-teman guruku di SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa. Mereka sudah melayani kita sejak tanggal 5 sampai dengan hari ini. Apabila ada hal-hal yang tidak berkenan, tinggallah di sini. Bawalah kenangan manis dan indah ke rumahmu masing-masing. Sebelum kita tiba pada acara pengumuman, tidak mengurangi rasa hormat kepada Bapak Alphonse, Bapak Moses, dan Bapak Edel. Mungkin permintaan kami panitia, sebelum mengumumkan kejuaraan hari ini, bisa mewakili teman-teman memberikan pesan dan kesan sekaligus memberikan catatan-catatan kritis untuk anak-anak saya, Bapak Ibu guru dan kami semua. Kesempatan berikut sebelum yang mewakili tim Yuri menyampaikan pesan kesan dan catatan-catatan, saya persilakan kepada Bapak Kristo, ada sapaan khusus dari Bapak Kristo. Saya persilakan.
Thanks for the time given to me. Thank you very much. First of all, we have to say praise to the Lord Almighty God. Because of His praise, guides, we could gather here in a good condition, started from the day before yesterday, and up to now. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for my beloved educators, lecturers, and moderator, Mr. Alphonse, Mr. Moses, Mr. Ellen, and Mrs. Rini. I would like to thank you very much as on behalf of the Committee of English Debating. I would like to say thank you very much also for the principal of SMA Bajawa, Mr. Anis, and all the staff, IT staff, and the teachers of SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa. You have done your best to support these activities, this English debate, started from the day before yesterday up to now. And I would like to say thank you very much for our advisor, the teachers, and my friends, Mrs. May, Miss Susan, my sister Cindy, and also Pater Anton, Romonani, and all English teachers who supported us in this English debate. Learning English is an art. Yeah. Learning English is an art. So we have done our best. Your public speaking, you have practiced your English for your future life. Yeah. I really praise for my students, especially for all students who have participated for the last time, and even though right now only 4 schools, and until for the second final, and from Seminari and also from Regina Pacis, I'm really proud to myself, because English is the bridge for our future life, and also for younger children. Your lives still longer than us. So for the last, I would like to say on behalf of the committee and all the staff, IT staff, we would like to say apologize to Mrs. Rini and 3 of my beloved educators, even though maybe tired for the last time yesterday, and then but you still here, please with us to give us in English debating, and then we learn much from yesterday, the day before yesterday, and up to now. We still need your help for the next time. If we from English teachers need some information and some point that related to English, we really appreciate to invite 3 of my beloved educators and also my elder sister, Mrs. Rini. Last but not least, I would like to say apologize. That is all from me. Thank you very much and good afternoon. Thank you.
Baik, terima kasih untuk Pak Kristo. Kesempatan berikut kepada yang mewakili Dewan Juri menyampaikan pesan kesan sekaligus memberikan catatan-catatan kritis dalam kaitannya dengan lomba debat bahasa Inggris sejak tanggal 5 sampai dengan hari ini tanggal 7 April 2022. Mungkin bisa daulatkan salah satu. Kami persilakan Mbah Moses bisa berada di depan.
Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what a pleasure for me to be here, and it has been such a great time, even though I thought everyone felt so tired with what we had, but that was really interesting thing. In 1989, when I used to be a guide, everyone used to call me frater or father. But it seems that not today, that English becomes one of the most important thing in your lives. I can see today that a lot of people are really enthusiastic, and both boys and girls. So English becomes one of the most important things again in our life. So I learned so many things. This is my first time to attend a kind of debate competition, but I've been to some occasions before. It's like a speech that was totally different, like what I saw today. That was really beautiful, and the content of the debate was also great. And this is actually one of the the thing that the government has to support. It's really important, because by doing the debate, it's not English that you can learn today, but also the knowledge that you're trying to get. Yeah, I can see how struggle everyone, and especially that everyone was struggling how to find the resources, how to find the citation, and in order to make it perfect, to be to be interesting, to be listened by the audience. So that was really good again. However, there were some things that you need to improve. For example, I can see it's kind of habit. For example, what do you think about that? That's a really, I think everyone says that. And then the next one, what I can hear that, can I, what do you think? Interruption, please. I mean, it's going to be really interesting if you can use different, different options or different ideas, different expression. For example, objection. Yeah, objection. And then the tones. Yeah, tones was, I mean, you need to improve your tones as well, especially when you try to emphasize a point. Yeah, so you have to try, for example, I said earlier that. You're trying to make it up and down, so it makes people, really interested to listen. I, and also, well, I guess two of my friends, we found it very difficult what kind of judgment that we have to give. That was really difficult. I think next time we need to think, for example, number 1, number 2, and number 1, 2, 3, 4. We will need to have an agreement. What kind of evaluation, what kind of judgment can be given? Is that a content, or is that a pronunciation, or is it diction? Because we find it very difficult. And then I, on behalf of my friends and also on behalf of myself, and I was really happy. I was really touchy. With the, one of the schools from the remote area, from Riung today. Well, if I was the only one, if I was the only judge today, I would like to give them number 1. Yeah, because they were trying really hard, and they have done all, what they can do. Therefore, I'm going to give them a bonus. To go back, so probably 200,000 rupiah per person to go back. Yeah, that was really good. I mean, that's probably the thing. Then, before, I would like to thank you very much, for all the committee, the moderator, and all 2 of my friends, the teachers, and also the government of East Nusa Tenggara, who has provided this kind of really supportive activities, really supportive ideas that I hope in the future it has to be done again. because this is really important for us. And I think we are going to be the champion in the future, especially, well, I cannot mention who's going to be #1 today, but I can see how good you were, especially I could see, wow, your face when you're trying to argue. That was really good, but some people are nearly crying. Okay, so this is a kind like, one of the chairman said that it is an art actually. So trying to make it as beautiful as possible so people can feel, oh, this is an interesting moment. I think that's all. Thank you very much. And then I wish you good luck. And I believe 100% guarantee, most of you from #1 to #6, you're going to be a successful person in the future. Because English is going to give you more chance to get a lot of work opportunities. Thank you very much. All the best and good luck. Bye.
Jadi 34 dulu baru 1, 2. Yang mengumumkan kejuaraan itu dari boleh dari sekolah juga bisa, dari kami juga bisa, terserah. Ya? Tapi sudah ada hasilnya. Oh iya, oke.
Baik, terima kasih Bapak Moses yang sudah memberikan pesan-kesan dan catatan-catatan kritis. Kesempatan berikut kita akan dengarkan pengumuman kejuaraan oleh Dewan Juri. Sebelum sampai pada pengumuman yang akan disampaikan oleh Dewan Juri, kami dari panitia mengumumkan bahwa acara penutupan akan dilaksanakan hari ini di SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa tepat jam 15. Sekali lagi, acara penutupan akan dilaksanakan di SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa tepat pukul 15. Pembagian hadiah kejuaraan akan dilaksanakan di SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa. Dan pada siang hari ini kita akan mendengarkan pengumuman dari Dewan Juri mengumumkan juara 1, juara 2, juara 3 dan pembicara terbaik. Sekali lagi, yang akan diumumkan oleh Dewan Juri yaitu juara 1, juara 2, juara 3 dan pembicara terbaik. Dan informasi berikutnya, setelah pengumuman kita akan pose bersama, foto bersama. Nanti berada di depan, nanti kita foto bersama. Nanti sebentar akan dipandu. Kesempatan berikut saya berikan kesempatan seluas-luasnya kepada Dewan Juri mengumumkan kejuaraan. Saya persilakan.
Terima kasih untuk kesempatan yang diberikan. Jadi saya mewakili Dewan Juri sekaligus mengumumkan hasil penilaian dari debat hari ini di babak final pada hari ini. Pada tempat yang keempat adalah SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa dengan total skor 1044. Di tempat yang ketiga dari SMA Negeri 1 Riung Barat dengan poin 1069. Siaran langsung tidak dengar kalau tidak ada lewat mic. On the second position is SMA Seminari St.Yoh.Berkhmans Toda Belu dengan total poin 1131. And on the first place, of course, without further ado, SMA swasta Regina Pacis Bajawa with a total score of 1,133 points. Jadi juara 1, selamat untuk SMA swasta Regina Pacis Bajawa yang menempati posisi pertama as the champion of the debating competition for senior high school level for all Ngada district ya. Untuk tahun ini. Dan kemudian yang berikutnya masih ada didaulat untuk pembicara terbaik dalam debat ini adalah Nona Yuwananda Bokokani dari SMA Regina Pacis Bajawa. Jadi selanjutnya saya kembalikan mic ini kepada panitia untuk penyampaian selanjutnya. Terima kasih sekali lagi, selamat untuk semuanya. You are all champions ya, you are all winners in this competition. Dari 15 peserta yang ada, you are all already winners and champions of this competition. Tapi lagi, so with that, congratulations and propitiat untuk semua yang terlibat, dan sekali lagi kami kembalikan kepada panitia.
Jadi mohon maaf, ini tadi mungkin saya perlu sampaikan dalam bahasa Indonesia. Tadi kebetulan saya ya tertarik sekali, artinya saya merasa tersentuh sekali dengan anak-anak kita yang dari Riung. Ini luar biasa, artinya yang tidak memiliki apa-apa di sana, tapi mereka maju, yang bisa bersama dengan teman, bisa bersaing dengan teman-teman. Tadi saya katakan, andai kata saya sendiri, pasti saya kasih mereka juara 1 ini. Tetapi ini sebagai hadiah, sebagai bentuk dukungan saya kasih uang sedikit-sedikit, 200.000 per orang, supaya bisa memberikan dorongan. Terima kasih, mungkin apakah diserahkan hari ini atau bagaimana, saya tidak tahu. Saya kembalikan.
Baik, terima kasih. Sekali lagi kita berikan aplaus yang meriah kepada Bapak Moses. Sangat strategis dan sangat istimewa kalau Bapak Moses berkenan bisa diwujudkan sekarang. Supaya menjadi daya dorong yang kuat kepada kita punya anak-anak. Sambil tidak mengurangi rasa hormat Bapak Moses, mungkin untuk mempersiapkan segala sesuatu, kami tambahkan 1-2 informasi bahwa untuk Bapak Ibu guru pendamping dan anak-anak saya, setelah kita pose bersama selesai, kami bersama dengan Bapak Ibu tim Yuri dan panitia pasti makan siang bersama dulu. Setelah itu Bapak Ibu dan anak-anak bisa makan siang sendiri-sendiri. Dan setelah itu kita semua menuju ke SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa untuk mengikuti acara penutupan. Sekali lagi, saya sebagai tuan rumah, seizin Dewan Juri, hanya mau menegaskan kejuaraan yang sudah diumumkan hari ini, lomba debat bahasa Inggris yang diselenggarakan di SMA Negeri 2 Bajawa menghasilkan sang juara 1 dari SMAS Regina Pacis Bajawa. Kita berikan aplaus ya untuk Berkhmans. Udah perlu berikan aplaus yang meriah. Nah, ini saya punya anak. Nah. Juara 3 dari SMA Negeri 1 Riung Barat. Juara 4 SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa. Kita mungkin bisa berpose bersama dengan saya, anak-anak. Nah, ini perdana ya. Saya undang anak-anak saya, bisa kita pose bersama di depan. Dengan Pak Kristo, Ibu Susan, Ibu Mei, bisa ke depan.
Berselimut kabut di lembah, senang berkirim ke angkasa. Berpawang bangkit berselimut kabut di lembah, senang berkirim ke angkasa. Berpawang bangkit perkasa. Tiada henti, pantang mundur menantang kuda, siap terkubur di hariban Bunda, pengabdi bangsa dan kerajaan. berselimut kabut di lembah, senang berkirim ke angkasa, berpawang bangkit perkasa. Tiada henti, pantang mundur menantang kuda, siap terkubur di hari bangkuda, mengabdi bangsa dan gereja.
Debat kuat sebut begitu. Tetapi bagi kami secara psikologis ya memang kami juga ditantang di situ. Pak Kristo, Romo, ya kami dekat dengan kedua sekolah ini, jadi jaraknya sebenarnya 11-12 gitu. Ini juga menjadi sulit untuk seobjektif mungkin ya menentukan siapa yang kemudian masuk di posisi puncak prestasi. Tadi di babak sebelumnya saya sudah sampaikan bahwa motivasi kita mestinya melihat bahwa juara atau apapun namanya itu bonus ya, tetapi proses menjadi jauh lebih penting bagi adik-adik para pendebat untuk masa depan adik-adik ke depan. Ini yang saya pikir menjadi catatan untuk kita bawa pulang sehingga bisa mengurangi ketegangan, kesedihan. Bahwa kita punya motivasi untuk mencapai juara, saya pikir wajar ya, karena semua orang ingin mencatat ya prestasi-prestasi itu, bahkan prestasi yang paling puncak ya. Tapi perjalanan memang selalu bercerita beda ya. Dalam perjalanan ada yang bisa mencapai puncak, tetapi tidak semua orang bisa sampai puncak ya. Memang piramida itu sudah digambarkan bahwa puncaknya memang harus mengerucut dan akhirnya kita harus mengerucut di puncak itu. Dengan sukacita dan kegembiraan menyambut Paskah, saya harus menyampaikan hasil hari ini untuk juara 2 diraih oleh SMA Katolik Regina Pacis. Dengan demikian, mari kita aplaus lebih meriah untuk menyambut tim SMA Seminari sebagai puncak juara. Dan sekaligus memberi apresiasi kepada adik-adik dari SMA Negeri Aimere yang kami lihat bahwa kali ini juga menunjukkan ekspektasi yang luar biasa dari selatan, perempuan semua Ini Ratu Pantai Selatan rupanya. Kemudian dari Riung Barat juga mencatat prestasi tersendiri. Kita akan bertemu lagi tahun depan kalau kami bertiga masih diberi kesempatan, dan mic ini saya kembalikan ke masih ada satu yang juga ditunggu-tunggu, pembicara terbaik. Setelah kami menelisik, menimbang-nimbang, mencermati dari proses di hari pertama sampai hari ini, kami punya catatan setiap babak nominasi-nominasi yang akan kita tempatkan pada posisi pembicara terbaik. Untuk pembicara terbaik dari SMA Negeri 1 Riung Barat atas nama Teresia Melita Lempang. Ya, terima kasih untuk kesempatan pada siang hari ini. Dengan demikian kita bisa pulang damai dan menyambut hari Paskah minggu depan. Saya kembali ke Dewan Juri.
Ya, terima kasih. Kita berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk kita semua. Capaian hasil prestasi ternyata membuat laju percepatan perubahan tahun kemarin dan tahun ini. Ternyata bukan inflasi tapi kerak. Mari kita dengarkan ungkapan hati dari yang mewakili Bapak Koordinator Debat Bahasa Indonesia. Bapak.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Moderator, Pak Vincent. Saya tidak bisa imbangi kalau kata-kata Pak Vincent ini. Yang saya hormati Mawita selaku Kepala Sekolah juga Ketua MKKS. Yang saya hormati Dewan Juri, Bapak Kristo, Bapak Iman, dan Romo. Yang saya hormati teman-teman Kepala Sekolah yang sudah hadir. Yang saya hormati Bapak Ibu pendamping Romo juga. Dan yang saya banggakan teman-teman panitia loka, Pak Sisi dan teman-teman SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa. Dan yang saya banggakan siswa-siswi kita peserta lomba debat bahasa Indonesia tingkat SMA tahun 2000. Dan pada akhirnya kita boleh melaksanakan kegiatan perlombaan debat bahasa Indonesia dari awal sampai akhir dengan baik. Tepuk tangan kita semua. Sebagai yang mewakili panitia di tingkat debat bahasa Indonesia, tentu kami menyampaikan terima kasih. Yang pertama kepada Bu Kepala Sekolah dan semua panitia lokal yang menurut kami tahun ini baru pertama dipercayakan menjadi tuan rumah, dan secara umum kami menganggap bahwa sukses. Luar biasa. Terima kasih, memberikan plus. Memang dalam rapat kami para kepala sekolah menghendaki bahwa tuan rumah itu bergilir. Dengan adanya debat seperti ini, kegiatan seperti ini, maka kepala sekolah dan bapak guru sudah mulai berpikir infrastruktur yang dibutuhkan di sekolah itu. Nah, kalau tidak hal-hal seperti ini, saya yakin di Golo juga belum berpikir. Maka kami juga berpikir bukan hanya di Golo juga, Anyar juga siap kalau tahun depan diberi kepercayaan. Jadi selaku panitia tentunya sekali lagi kami menyampaikan terima kasih dan apresiasi kepada teman-teman keluarga besar SMA Negeri 1 Bajawa. Terima kasih. Yang berikut kami sampaikan kepada dengan Yuri. Kami sangat yakin kesibukan pribadi di 1-2 hari terakhir ini pasti banyak. Tetapi demi anak-anak kita, saya pikir bahwa mereka telah bersedia. Kami juga Pak Hari dan juga Bapak Kristo dan Bapak Iman, kami memberikan apresiasi dan terima kasih luar biasa sudah berkorban untuk anak-anak kita di Ngada ini. Terima kasih. Berikan apresiasi untuk Bang Yuri. Banyak pikiran, banyak masukan yang justru selama ini kami di sekolah belum berpikir sampai ke situ, dan itu diakui oleh Bapak Guru Bahasa Indonesia. Untuk itu nanti direncanakan pada pertemuan-pertemuan berikut untuk kita terus tingkatkan sehingga debat-debat berikut akan jauh lebih bagus dari tahun-tahun yang sampai hari ini. Bisa Pak? Dan itu diberikan sepenuhnya kepada kami Bapak Ibu Kepala Sekolah tentunya. Tanggung jawab besar. Terima kasih untuk teman-teman guru pendamping. Luar biasa, kami sebagai kepala sekolah kalian hanya cek-cek saja, tapi saya sangat yakin kerja keras dari Bapak Ibu
berselimut kabut di lembah, senang mengkirim ke angkasa, berpawang bangkit perkasa. Tiada henti, pantang mundur menantang kuda, siap terkubur di hari Bangkuda, pengabdi bangsa dan gereja. Mawar putih mekar berseri, berselimut kabut di lembah, senang berkirim ke angkasa. Berpawang bangkit perkasa. Kala sinar mentari pagi, kuncup muda tumbuh berseri, menabur benih sabda suci. Ke ujung bumi tiada henti, pantang mundur menantang kuda, siap terkubur di hariban Bunda, pengabdi bangsa dan gereja. Kala sinar mentari pagi, kuncup muda tumbuh berseri, menabur benih sabda suci. Ke ujung bumi tiada henti, pantang